Let me tell you, Lynn, I have never told anybody this. For 23 years by mouth. That's a secret. Yeah,
You've never fought?
Never fought.
You don't throw words at each
No.
other? You've never been physical?
No, we are friends. In fact, we say, other than being a husband and wife, we are friends.
Beautiful.
Marriage works. You have to work for it. Produce positive words. Have time together. Go for holidays together. Because if you don't work on your marriage, it will go down. Yeah. So when they had Optiven is doing the joint venture, they ran quickly in hundreds and people paid. You pay land to Optiven, you pay greenhouse to the partner. I remember it was December and we were waiting for greenhouses. They were not coming. Customers were paying. So what happened? We discovered it was a hoax.
This is the mistake people fear in business.
Yeah.
They fear the other side of losses. They fear the other side of making mistakes. From the lessons that you learned personally, what are you rebuilding?
One of the lessons that I learned from this joint venture, it is trust, but verify. When you make a mistake, don't shy away seeking guidance.
Very good morning to you and a warm welcome to LNS Rebuilding Edition. My name is Lynn Ngugi. The person I'm about to host today is very dear to me. I remember during my starting days, I walked into his office and it's a story I've told so many times, and I told him, I have this idea. Could you give me a chance? He really believed in my vision. And sometimes when you walk into these offices, you feel a bit intimidated because you're like, I want to start, I want to branch off, but who will believe in me? But he's one of those people who have believed in me. So mkionanga, every time I'm just about Optiven, guys, it's because the brand is really dear to my heart. I'm about to let him introduce himself because I thought there are so many things that have happened since we sat down and had a conversation together during my days at Tuko. And he also have a book that he's going to be telling us about and how it came about. But before I let him introduce himself, I want to say thank you so much, guys, for being incredible supporters of our work. 700k subscribers, here we come. It can only be God. I really appreciate you. And of course, to say thank you to my people at Elegance Fashion. When you see me looking this good, it's because they've really taken a chance on me. And thank you so much for supporting them in their work. And you can always get hold of them. Their contact details are right here on the screen, and let them know that we appreciate them. And now, without further ado, please allow me to let this incredible guest I have today introduce himself. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
How are you?
I am fabulous. I'm good.
Yes.
And I thank God to be in this beautiful, fantastic studio.
Yeah.
This is what God can do.
Do you love it?
I love it. My name is George Wachiuri, and I'm happy to be here. Yeah. And I work with a company called Optiven.
Yes.
And other than working for Optiven, I'm also a church elder. Yeah. I fellowship with the Destiny Life Church. Yes. Our church in Siokemau. Mm-hmm. And I've been there for 23 years. Yeah. And other than that, I love philanthropy. Yes. I run one of the biggest foundations today in Kenya, with over 600 orphans that we sponsor, and we have other programs in the foundation. Mm-hmm. And I'm happy that, God tells us that be ready to be used as a servant, because all of us, we are servants. Yes. And we are also stewards of God's resources. Mm-hmm. Even as people see, Optiven now has grown very big globally. It is not because George is a professor, it's because of the favor of God. Yeah. Yes.
Wow, congratulations first on the wins that you're making in life, on the global office. When we are going through Karen, I see Optiven's global office, and I'm like, look what God can do. Look what God can do. And now you are 23 years, the biggest real estate company, not only in Kenya, but right now in Africa. So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's very humbling, Lynn, seeing that 23 years ago, we celebrate 24 years by August.
Yes.
23 years ago, we were a very small company. Actually, it was one-man show. And the first 10 years, they were very challenging, very challenging, in a place whereby even depression was coming. Yeah. And while it not for trusting in God, I think Optiven won't be there because you know real estate in Africa has many challenges.
Yes.
But every time we have encountered these challenges, God has always been there to help us. You know, when you are down the valley, God is always there to help us to come up. And when I look at Optiven today and I see now we have over 500 employees, we call them partners.
Yes.
You just thank God. And that's why you say that for us at Optiven, we don't sell plots, we don't sell properties. Our job is to create opportunities for other people. When you look at Kenya and these young people, we need entrepreneurs like George Wachiuri to create opportunities for these people so that they have somewhere to go. Every morning they go there and work. You know, when I came to this office, Lynn, your office, and I saw quite a number of people, I said, wow, job creation. And that's what I shouted.
Yes.
Because for me, job creation is in the heart of, deep in my heart.
Yeah.
And that's encouragement to people out there. And also looking at Optiven for 23 years and seeing how many people that have benefited from Optiven, because we give 5% of our money to the foundation.
Yes.
You just tell God, thank you. You know, sometimes you look at what God has done, you have no options but to kneel down and tell God, thank you. And then for us at Optiven, I say it is a journey. We are maybe operating at 10%. The vision is bigger. We have a vision of going to about 20 African countries by the year 2041.
Wow.
Right now, we are having some footprint in Uganda.
Yes.
And we are going to step again in DRC Congo.
Yes.
Because we need to look at Africa as a whole. And the story of Optiven is the story of many entrepreneurs. And that's why I always talk about it, to encourage people out there that you may be doing some business and the challenges will come. But when the challenges come, don't quit. Don't hang yourself. Don't kill yourself. Really remember my story. You know, the first transaction I did for land 10 years ago, the entire 5 million was swept. You know, and I was stressed, I was depressed. And these men, I've never seen them even today. And that was the entire 10 years savings. You know, you try to sleep, you cannot sleep. You turn, you can't get sleep. And the life was tough. Were it not for God and a committed wife, Mary, who really encouraged me, and my own pastor, maybe I would be crazy by now. Maybe I'll be in the streets. But for 1 year, I was able to go through that challenge to a space whereby I could not even be able to pay license for the office. I remember one time I was caught by the county askaris. I was trying to hide under the table and I was arrested because I had no money to pay for 5,000 Kenya shillings license. I closed the office. And my office was the park called Uhuru Park in Kenya. And I'm there with my Bible, with my notebook and a pen. And that's why I made commitment. I told God, God, if you reinstate me again, 3 things that will happen. Number 1, I'll never be proud. Number 2, I'll be supporting the less fortunate. Number 3, I'll be serving you. That's why for us at Optiven, you cannot talk about Optiven without referring to God, referring to the less fortunate, because I know that even me as a person, I am a product of community supporting me, paying my education. So when people see a huge donation to Optiven Foundation from Optiven Real Estate, it is intentional. Because these people, when you support them, you never know. These people could be the next president. These people could be the next CSs, could be the next entrepreneurs. And like yesterday, we had a big event at the global office whereby we are launching the support for the TVET. And then we had 2 young people who came and testified. I said, God, look at what philanthropy, giving back can do to these young people. And that's an encouragement to people who are listening to us. That even as God gives you resources, like now the way Optiven is, never forget where you have come from. Remember your village. Remember the less fortunate. And give that support. Because let me tell you, by the end of the day, this life is not permanent. The time you go to heaven, definitely, all the resources that you see, you leave it. And God will ask you, when you are on earth, what did you do to your people? That's why I always make a joke that Optiven cannot go down, because Optiven, the work we do to the community, there are hundreds of people who are praying for us. And that's why even when we have challenges, there is always a way out.
There's always a way out. You know, when you talk about it, it's getting me emotional because look at it. We are about to open Leshao's house. It has taken us almost 2 years to get here. And I remember something I keep reminding my audience. You said, we are not going to give Leshao just something. We are going to give her the best. And that's why we settled for Garden of Joy. You gave her the best land. We are building, of course, with the support of some of our audience, but the chunk of money that was remaining was so much because we raised and we were like, oh God, will this even money be enough? Will we ever get to the 6 million mark? But you say, don't worry. So Optiven Real Estate gives to Optiven Foundation this huge chunk of money that has now enabled us to be able to open now the house and making sure that the dream is coming to fruition. But you did mention something also. You say, God, I don't want to be proud. Why do you think we as humans have pride sometimes? Why does it get to us? You start achieving something and you completely become a different person. You start having pride. You are not even approachable. You forget God. Where does that come from?
I think many a times, especially people from a poor background, is that when God blesses us, we forget the roots. Yet those roots are the ones that they were like the training. They are like the school of training. And that's why even for me, I said, since I'm also human, I want to write a book so that when I find that as if something is happening, I reread the book myself. And this is the story I said, George, be careful not to forget where you have come from, whereby you are sleeping for 5 days without food, whereby women from the villages were coming to do harambe for me to go to high school. You know, and I said, wait a minute, I am a product of the community. I am a product of a single mother. You know? So, and many times when you remember what God has done for you, you have no time to be proud because you know your basics. And I always remind myself, George, remember, today you have some few resources. These resources are not yours. You are a custodian of God's resources.
You are
a custodian of God's resources. These are not your resources. And by the way, God is not short of people to give resources. Even the environment. I think you know that we are very big on Go Green. These are all God's resources.
And you're wearing green today.
Green is color of prosperity.
Something has got my attention. I'm familiar with soaring like an eagle, unleash your full potential, but I'm not familiar with after the plunge. What's this book?
Well, this book is a very interesting book. About 5 years ago, you know, me, I'm a person who loves customers. You know, when I see my customer prosper, I get excited. And one time there was this craze of greenhouses, you know, 5 years ago. And as we had totally refused to do the partnership for greenhouses. But you know, customers are calling me, hey, Wachiuri, hata sisi tunataka greenhouse, we want greenhouses. So we went and found a partner. And as we agreed, we buy the land, we bought 200 acres, put the water, put the infrastructure, fence it, put a caretaker, did a dam, did boreholes, and the project was excellent. It was good. The partner was to do the greenhouses, plant for the customers, market for the customers, and then she also gave contracts to customers that every month you get 600,000 Kenya shillings. And the customers were happy. And the customers trust Optiven. So when they had Optiven is doing the joint venture, they ran quickly in hundreds and people paid. You pay land to Optiven, you pay greenhouse to the partner. Man, and we were excited because we knew our customers gonna be wealthy. Let me tell you, Lynn, I remember it was December and we were waiting for greenhouses. They were not coming. Customers were paying. Me, I'm a person who pray. One time I was praying and I had a conviction. Please send a message to customers to stop them from paying. Immediately in the morning, I told my team, please send a message. Ask people not to pay any longer. Do you know, even after sending messages, people are still paying the partner. Pesa inaingia kwake. 290,000 per greenhouse. Some people are paying even 14 greenhouses. So what happened? We discovered it was a hoax. So we went to the police, and the case went for about 3 years. But one time now, customers were becoming agitated. Then we were asking, what do we do with these customers? Some of them are my friends, some are diaspora. And me, I believe in prayer. We went to Katoroni to pray. And we had conviction. George, go look for money, pay these people. I just got courage. Went to the bank and said, please give us a loan facility. And we borrowed money, a lot of money.
How much?
200 million.
Hey.
We borrowed money. Over COVID, Lynn, our people did checks mpaka vidole zikauma. Over COVID, we are paying people. We paid people. Today, only 4 people who refuse to receive the money. But all the others, even people in New Jersey, there's a big group in New Jersey, we refunded over 10 million. And they did a screenshot, shared on a WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Kujeni muone kampuni inarudisha pesa. Kujeni muone.
Yes.
Let me tell you, Lynn, I said, what did we do after doing business for all these years? Kwa nini tuleta hii joint venture? By the way, it was, we did due diligence. We even did everything that was possible.
Yeah.
And it was good. But I said, because I don't want anybody else to lose money.
Yes.
Because me, I don't like when people suffer.
Yeah.
I don't like suffering. Maybe I'm a philanthropist. I don't like suffering.
Yeah.
I ordered this book. After the pledge, this book, people, we are going to launch it on this month on 28th.
Okay.
People who have read this book, they say, George, umeniokoa. Because there are some things we did.
Yes.
That maybe if I followed what I've written here,
you would not.
I wouldn't have done that joint venture. And that's why today, if you mention joint venture with Optiven, I ran away.
Yes.
I literally ran away.
Yeah.
And I thank God because we were able to sort out 99% of the people, refund them money, and I said, let me order a book so that any other entrepreneur doesn't do the same mistake that George did. And let me tell you, Lynn Ngugi, there is God in heaven. How we got the loan facility is a miracle. It's a story of another day.
Yeah.
You know, and how we are able to pay all these 500 people. You know, God can do it. And who is God? After we did this payment over COVID, remember COVID, you are struggling with salaries.
Yes.
There are no many customers. The revenue for Optiven went up by 30%. Wow. God paid us back. Wow. I am telling you.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Wow. So you lose 200 million and God pays you back with a profit of 30% on your normal daily activities.
Revenue went up by 30%.
Oh.
That's why we say that when you do good,
yes,
and when your heart is clean, you're not there to con people. And you involve God in your strategy. You know, people say prayer is not a strategy. Me, I say prayer is a strategy. You can pray and things happen.
Yeah.
That's a story of Optiven.
Allow me to ask, because you've mentioned something. Had you followed the lessons that people are about to learn in this book, you would not have gone into that joint venture, right?
Yes.
People would ask, Mr. George, you already lost an entire saving of 10 years. This is, and I feel like this is the mistake people fear in business.
Yeah.
They fear the other side of losses. They fear the other side of making mistakes.
Yeah.
They fear the other side of what will people say. And because I love that, this is coming on our series that we are calling Rebuilding.
Yeah. From
the lessons that you learned personally, what are you rebuilding? What was your biggest take home?
I think one of the lessons that I learned from this joint venture, you know, it is trust, but verify. People come to you with a very fantastic ideas. You trust, but verify. Yeah. That's the top lesson. And then I also learned, when you make a mistake, don't shy away seeking guidance. Because I consulted my own pastor, Reverend Katuru. I consulted Mary, who is our operation director. We did a committee in Optiven, you know, to handle the situation. And it was a crisis handling. So don't fear. And when you fail, don't go into a cocoon and say, you know, I am the best real estate. Tell people the mistakes. And that's why I said, I'm going to disclose the mistakes that we did so that somebody out there doesn't do the same mistakes. We can save millions of people, because what people do is that they will never show you the gray areas. So for me, I never shy away showing my weaknesses, showing my gray areas, because those gray areas can save somebody out there. That gray area can save a business out there. That gray area can save our nation. And that's why for me, all my books, I just I just say my weaknesses.
Yeah.
I do mentorship called the George Wachiuri School of Mentorship.
Yeah.
Right now we are doing cohort 5, and we have about 500 people from different countries. I share my stories because if all of us can be successful,
Yes.
Kenya is successful. If all of us can be successful, Africa is successful. And that's why I tell people that I'm a believer of abundance mentality. I'm the person who doesn't believe in competition. By the way, I don't believe in competition.
Really?
I believe in competing with myself. And that's why we say that in Kenya today, there are only 2 real estate, Optiven and others.
Yeah.
I am not...
We,
So-
hey, sijui tukuweke kwa food utoe mziki.
Yeah, so I'm never concerned. I'm never bothered about competition.
Yeah.
Because if you can make yourself better and make other people's better, all of us can be better. In my own mentorship,
Yeah.
I mentor people who are doing real estate. Somebody asked me, George, are you crazy? Are you mad? How can you mentor your competition? I believe in abundance mentality. Abundance mentality means there is enough for everyone. And if we can be able to have that abundance mentality as opposed to scarcity mentality, Lynn, we can be able to change our villages, we can change our country, we can change Africa. That's the spirit of Optiven.
Wow.
Yeah.
You believe in, but when you say Optiven and others, because this is also something I stopped doing a couple of months back. I would wake up, see what other different YouTube channels are doing. And nowadays, I just don't. I just say like, I would look at what wamepata views nini. Now I honestly don't feel the urge to look at what people are doing. So you don't wake up and look at what other real estates are doing?
Zero. I have no research firm to check for me. How are others doing? I ask myself, how is Optiven doing? How can we make ourselves better?
How am I doing?
How can we make our customers smile? Sometimes customers come and say, hey, George, I bought from so and so. I thought, that's okay, we are in one industry. And then we also train our people. We tell them, never ever compare or go to other people's website to look for leads. We can be able to generate our own leads. Today, Optiven is number 1 in this country. Now, this country is a village. We are saying Optiven must be number 1 in Africa. That's why we are now registered an office in Uganda. We are registering an office in Congo because we are looking at Africa. You know why? Abundance mentality means we have a lot of resources and we shall never exploit these resources. No, we just opened an office in Delaware, in New York. We have Optiven Incorporation, Optiven Inc. Because other than looking at real estate in Africa, we want to look at real estate in the US because US have been there for 300 years. And people are still thriving in real estate. What can make Optiven, which means optimizing ventures, not to thrive in America? So very soon, we are going to do development in the state of Delaware. It is possible and doable because when God created you, Lynn, you are created with some brains that can do exploit. Can you imagine, Lynn, people are doing shuttle services to the space, and the ticket is 63 million, and it is oversubscribed. It's done by Richard Branson. Kuna watu 100 wamelipa 63 million waiting to go to space. So it is only us that limit ourselves. We have the brains, and these brains can do exploits. So when you wake up and check at your competition, in fact, you call them complementaries. That is a waste of time. Ask yourself, George, how can you work better? George, how can you do things better? How can you make your customers better? How can you make your customers smile? Once we do that in every industry, we are going to make Africa thrive.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow. Do you believe, because this venture, you had around 500 people had invested in it, right? Why do you think people are so calm and patient and they trusted you to refund their money? Because in other cases, you would be all over social media. People would be saying this and this and this about the brand. Why do you think your customers were actually patient and they trusted you would refund their money? And was it a must you refund, or you had a choice of saying, you are the ones who chose to do this, count your losses?
First and foremost, we had a very good case because the money never came to Optiven accounts. The contract was never with Optiven. The contract with the partner. So I had all the reasons why not to pay back the money. I would have told the customer, we are in quotes, you know. But I said, since people are saying we saw Optiven logo, that's why we went there. Because people trust Optiven. You know, and then for me as a person, I believe in relationships. You know, my phone is always public. In fact, they make a joke that I'm the only CEO whom you can call and pick a phone. And if he doesn't pick a phone, I will respond to your messages.
Yes.
So I am a people person, and I love people, across, whether they are customers or whatever they are, I am a people person. And that's why, since people trust Optiven, they trust George Wachiuri, they trust the brand, they were very patient. And I must thank them, because I know they are watching this this screen. I must thank all those who invested in that venture. And they were able to accept the refund. And most of that refund, Lynn, actually people say, hii ilikuwa pesa ya shamba. Sasa nipatie shamba Vipingo, nipatie Nanyuki, nipatie Nakuru. And we develop a very solid relationship. And that act of refunding, because if you Google it online, you find it on Standard, on Nation, Optiven refund 200 million. It enabled our business to go further, to thrive more. And that's why I tell people that when you make a mistake, don't put that mistake under a cover. Just come openly. Say, I made a mistake here. I did a wrong joint venture. And I am ready to take charge of it. And that's why you go to social media. You will never find any negative information about Optiven. We have also invested as an organization, because now Optiven is bigger than George Wachiuri.
I know.
We have invested on the structure. Like now the foundation. The head of foundation, Ann Nyaga, is able to run the foundation across 47 counties. If you look at our structure, we have a whole department for customer service, a whole department for telemarketers, a whole department, marketing alone, we're about 200 people. Because we want to add the value to our customers. And that's why I say that now Optiven is bigger than George. And I ask other entrepreneurs, allow your organization to be bigger than you. So that maybe another 5 years I'll retire from Optiven and get somebody else who is better than me. And even as you get people in your organization, get people who are better than you. Today, we have better marketers than George Wachiuri. We have better accountants than I used to be an accountant. And don't hire people because they come from your village. Hire people because of their attitude, their talents, and they are able to deliver.
You've mentioned yesterday we had a late night meeting with a couple of innovators, and we were talking about the founder syndrome. You are the founder, and you feel like you have to always be in this company for it to be successful. You right now, you're saying Optiven is bigger than George Wachiuri. For some of the people who are watching, and they are CEOs, founders, managers in their companies, and they can't let go. They can't let go. This decision has to come from me. I'm the one who is supposed to. What advice do you have for us?
Wow, I think, Lynn, that's a very good question. That how do we divorce ourselves from our organization, the founder syndrome? That's why I wrote this book. It's called How to Start Small and Build an Empire. That means an empire is bigger than George. And for you to be able to divorce yourself from your own organization, you have to invest on systems. Systems. You have to invest on governance. That you're not the same person who is writing the check. Like for me, Lynn, you ask me, do you write checks? I don't. Do you know how much money in the bank? I do not know. There are better people who can manage cash flows for Optiven than George Wachiuri. Now my job now is very easy. It's a PR. That's why I was in the US for 2 months. And nobody from the office who called me. No one who called me. They don't need me. And they say the best leader is the one who makes themselves irrelevant. Make yourself irrelevant. Nobody called me. They are able to work on everything. They do the sale agreement, they show their customers properties, they are able to do the validations, they are doing the roads, so they are able to do everything. So Optiven now is far much bigger. Maybe another 5 years. Maybe I'll be doing philanthropy. They don't need me because the systems are working. And that's the secret I tell people. And when I mentor people, I also tell them that an organization is bigger than the founders. Let the organization live. It's a living being. It can live on itself. And for it to do that, hire the right people, put the right structures, put the right governance, develop good relationships, and hire right. Once you do that, the company will keep propelling. It will keep propelling.
Powerful. God, you are one. Now, let's get matters the country at this moment, because you are one of the top business people we have in the country right now. But we were just having this conversation, and we were like, people are angry. Right now, the country, people are feeling some sort of way. People are feeling like, I don't have money, my kids need to eat, I can't run my business, the taxes are this and this and this. What are your views about the state of our nation today, and what would you tell other people who are into businesses but they are crumbling?
Well, I say that we grow strong through challenges. Without challenges, we cannot even pray. But
yes,
these challenges comes to make us think. What is happening to Kenya is very temporal, extremely temporal. You know, I happen to travel a little bit.
Yes.
And I've been having meetings with foreigners, you know, people from different countries. And you can hear them say, the best country to retire is Kenya. The best country to invest is Kenya. That's why I find that there are so many FDIs, foreign direct investment, coming to invest in Kenya. So the current happenings that are happening in our country, they are very, in fact, it's like a small screen. It's so temporal, it's coming to an end. Because this is a new government. They are finding the bearing. I'm sure very soon they will find a bearing. It's like a new marriage. You know, new marriage, you know, you're out there hype. But when you come to the house, there's something you discover, wait a minute, this partner has got this challenge. And I want to encourage people out there, this is not the time to downscale. This is the time to think differently, the way we do business. When there are these demos, please don't just go home and rest. Like for us, when there are demos, we work online. Everybody is online. In fact, in the morning when there are demos, we go out there, we inspire people, we encourage them, because we cannot close shop because of temporary happenings. And I also want to encourage people out there who have got dreams to invest in Kenya. This is the gateway. This is the gateway to Africa. And once you're in Kenya, you access 270 million people across East African Federation. And I'm happy that DRC now is part of us. So nothing should stop entrepreneurs from expanding. Nothing should stop the people who are willing to invest in Kenya to come in Kenya, because the problem is like when it rains, the rain goes and the sunshine comes. So the sunshine is coming. We should not be discouraged. Let us be encouraged. And those of us who are able to see some of these people, we are speaking to them. We are talking to them. We are telling them, we have no other country. Let's make Kenya a beautiful country. Lynn, let me tell you, I know you also travel. When you travel out there and you stay there for a month, I know you have a feeling you want to come back to Kenya.
Not a month, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. You want to come back to Kenya.
2 weeks, I want to come back to Kenya.
It's a beautiful
2
nation.
weeks, I want to come back to Kenya.
But
what do we do with the attitude? What do we do with the anger? What do we do with the frustrations, right? What do we do with the way people are feeling like nobody cares for us? What do people do now in such situations?
I think we, especially the net citizens, we ask them to be patient. We ask them to be the deliverer of, or the manufacturer of good news, the manufacturer of positivity. People in position like Lynn and myself and others who are watching us, if you have a chance, maybe you are pastors, you are bishops, you are leaders in organizations, corporate leadership, let's spread the gospel of being positive. Because if we, as leaders, as we talk about negativity, that the country is collapsing, it is going to collapse. Remember, there is power in what we speak. The power of death, life and death is in our mouth. So we must confess positively that regardless of the current challenges happening, things are going to be better. Lynn, who knew that countries like Congo are going to be peaceful? Who knew Optiven would operate in Congo? You know, they have been fighting for many years, but now you see there is a bit of peace. So even in Kenya, we should thank God that you know, there are challenges that our leaders, if they make a decision to talk, they can end these challenges. And as Kenyans, to kaze mshipi. This is our nation. Don't go out there and destroy the expressway. Barabara imefanya nini? Usiharibu. This is investment for generations. So if you are so annoyed, just jump up, down, do some exercises. Don't destroy people's property. And that's a call for our people. And once you do that, these challenges, we shall celebrate later. Remember the time of Kibaki? We had similar challenges. Yet, that is the time our country GDP went up. That's the time that money came in the pocket. So we are very optimistic as entrepreneurs. We are very hopeful as Kenyan people. And even people out there, let's not be the spreaders of bad news. So when you see that video, somebody being beaten, please don't share it. You are sharing discouragements. We are not manufacturers of discouragement. We are manufacturers of positivity.
All right, I love that. And also there's something I wanted to talk to you about, because I'm sitting with the man behind the biggest real estate farm in Kenya, right? But I've traveled across different places in diaspora. And for me, right now, what I can't even deal with is the number of emails I receive of how people get conned,
Yes.
matters land, right? If there is a manual, or if someone is watching right now and they want even to buy a piece of land in Kenya, what are some of the things that you must do? Don't negotiate. What are, like, I need a land in Kenya. What do I need right now? Where do I start? And where does it end? Just to make sure I don't get conned.
Well, thank you, Lynn. Of course, you are right that people have lost money, including myself.
Yes.
And one of the things that even as we do is that the first thing is to know whom are you dealing with. Wachiuri is selling you a piece of land. Who is Wachiuri? You are dealing with a company. How long has this company operated? Because majority of these organizations, they come like butterfly, tomorrow they are not there. How long have they operated?
Yes.
Do they have successful projects they have done? What's the character of directors? There's something called Sierra 12. Who are the directors of Optiven? How is their character?
Yes.
How is their past performance?
Yes.
And then ask yourself, there's land. Is there title? Is that title legit? Can you get a lawyer who can be able to do for you a thorough search for this title? This title, are there mutations, on this title? Who are the previous owners of this property? It comes now to the lawyer and the agreement. Does the agreement covers you? Are you covered in agreement? And this organization that's selling you properties, where are they? Do they have an office? Where are their offices? How long have they been in that offices? Do they have a staff complement? And you can be able to tell. And I tell people that every time you go to a transaction and you have a slightest doubt, run away. And then, of course, I know that we have over 16,000 real estate companies in Kenya today. I mean 16,000. So sometimes it's difficult to know which one is good, which one is not good. But other than having 16,000 real estate, we have also individuals. They are called the agents. We have also relatives. Like I was in the US, I went to Boston, I went to Seattle, I went to Alabama, I went to Delaware. And even relatives, they are eating their money. And Lynn, you can't do anything to a relative. And that's why I tell people that deal with organizations that have been there for many years. 23 years, Lynn, is a lot of time. And Optiven cannot close because of your 1 million or 2 million. And that's why for us, we have a refund policy. If you book our property, you don't like it after a while, we give you options. You can either swap to another property or we can refund you. Of course, you deduct 10% because of administration. And we have that policy for refund. That's why you find that you can't find any noise. If we promise you're going to do the water, the roads, the solar street lighting, in our 5 levels of projects, because you have the top level, the middle, and the lower level. What we promise is online. It's on our website, www.optiven.co.ke. It's there. The prices are there. There's no price for diaspora, no price for a Kenyan. And the people buy that honesty, that trust. And they say, wow, with Optiven, I am comfortable. Right now, we have people who are now building in Muranga, in Kiambu, Amandij, in Machakos, Garden of Joy, where we gave Leshao. And by the way, wow, you need to go to Garden of Joy. It is current. It is current. And that house for a shower is just, oh my goodness. I went and said, this woman is going to be marriable again.
Single life is over.
I am telling you, it's a beautiful place. And I thank God for Optiven. I think the secret behind Optiven is favor.
It's favor.
It's favor. You know what the Bible says? If you touch the orphans, you touch the widows, God will open doors and the windows of heaven. That's what we are enjoying for the last 23 years for Optiven. And the organization is happy. Last year, we were voted the happiest organization in East Africa. The other year, we were voted the best employer. Let me tell you, Lynn Ngugi. If there are staff that are happy, we call them partners. It is Optiven. Yani, they can come to my office. You have open door policy. They can challenge me. There I'm not called a CEO. I'm called a team leader because I'm one of them. We have the best working environment than any other organization in Africa. Optiven is the best.
Wow, that's beautiful. We've tackled business, we've tackled loss, we've tackled rebuilding. Let's get a bit personal. Because for you to be here, what does family mean to you? How do you have a work-life balance? How is family? I see you are smiling. So how is family life for you?
Wow, thank you. Because of course, when you were starting, it was very challenging because sometimes I could leave office by 3 a.m. So it was very challenging and I had small children. But by and by, I have read books on how to balance family and business. And today I would say that I have the happiest family. My firstborn is in university, Strathmore.
Yeah.
The second born is in Form 3,
Yes.
and the last one is in grade 5. So I have 3 children, 2 boys and 1 girl.
Yeah.
And my wife is, we work together in the same office.
Yes.
And we have times that we go for holidays together. We have family holidays together. And you have one day in a week whereby we don't even touch phone. We call it phone-free day.
Wow.
We just go for coffee, go for family dinner.
Yeah.
And I would say that my family is very happy.
Yes.
And the secret is, I might be too busy, but I have learned the art of delegation. I've also intentionally refused a lot of appointments. You know, I've been appointed to government boards, I decline. I've been appointed to TVET boards, I decline. So I don't accept appointments. Yeah. So that's why people ask me, hey, George, come to our board. Because you can't be everywhere. Yes. Me, I say my commitment are in 3 things: family, Optiven, and church. Those 3. Any other board commitments that are meetings at night, I'm not there. Yeah. I am the only CEO who is in the house by 8. Sometimes even 6. I don't have to spend all the day in the office. I have people, better people than me. Yes. And my family is a happy family.
It's a happy family.
Yes, I'm a happy man.
I love that because, you know, I've done a lot of shows.
Yes.
And I think sometimes when, as a woman, you hold a man's hand and then they start to break even, things start adding up to them and they leave their family and they forget about the wife that stood there with them. The kids that missed out on the, you know, on the hours, the kids that you could come home to at 3 a.m. And we see a lot of families breaking because wanasemanga unajua ukisha make it ndio unaanza kupata tushungua, unapata the tusichana and all these things. Even now for women, when women start making it, they also forget their husbands. What would you tell people who are in that position, and what's importance of sticking to the person that you really fought with and the person you hustled with?
Somebody told me that there's a blessing when you stick to your first love. You stick there. However, most of the people, when they get money, they think now the wife of the youth is not fashionable, and they go elsewhere. And the repercussions is a disaster. You know, I've seen my own friends who have done it, and they are messing up because if you're not happy in your family, you can't be happy in the office. If you can't be happy in the office, your staff cannot be happy. You'll be reactionary. You'll be reacting. So I want to encourage people out there, even as you build your family, and this family is helping you to build your business, remember, and their secret of building the family. Some of these secrets is have family time together. You know, sometimes throw away the phone. Go out there, take tea. As we have a program whereby once a week, we call it looking at each other. Just looking at each other. We just go to a hotel. She's there, I'm there. Even if we have no stories, we are looking at each other. You know, we are just there looking at each other. Of course, when you are there and you are taking tea, you have some discussions to talk about.
Yes.
And that way, and then in that forum we say, if there is something that I did wrong, you can tell me when we are looking at each other. And after that, we say, what happens to Vegas remain in Vegas. Yes. So the discussion we have here, maybe there are 2 issues that aliona over the week atasema pale, na tusibebe na tunaacha hapo. Let me tell you, Lynn, I have never told anybody this. For 23 years I've been in marriage with Mary. We have never fought. Never. We have never said nail by mouth. That's a secret.
I'm not doubting
talking
you,
to each other.
But since Mary, is that true? That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You've never fought.
Never fought.
You don't throw words at each other. You've never been physical.
No, we are friends. In fact, we say, other than being a husband and wife, we are friends.
Beautiful.
Number 3, we are business partners. And there's a way we even conduct business in the boardroom because we are always in the boardroom making decisions with other directors. There's some norm we have agreed. Actually, when we were young, we write some norms, do's and don'ts as a family. And let me tell you, for 23 years, I am the happiest man in marriage. And that's why when couples come to me to speak to me, we share our own experiences. And we thank God. I'm not bragging that 23 years have been never fights. I'm telling God thank you. And God help us until the time we are past 90. Now we go to heaven to serve there. That God will keep us safe because we are a role model to many people. And I'm happy to say that marriage works. But the thing is, even as you get the money, you say more no's than yeses. Even me, I get messages from ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to say no. But one of the secret I do is that my phone has no password. I don't have a password on my phone. Nagilai, who is my PA, can access all my messages.
Yes.
Mary can access all my messages.
Yes.
My children can access all my messages.
Yes.
I have no secret.
Yeah.
My email has no password.
Yes.
That's a secret. I want to advise people out there. Ukiona mzee anafisha simu, kwa nini anafisha simu? Kuna kitu.
Ukiona ameweka password ka zote za dunia,
exactly. And then when you are prompted, for example, you are prompted, feel free to say, so me, I am settled, I am born again, I am married. Unfortunately, I cannot start this relationship. You have to say no. And then when you go for meetings, when I mentor people, there's a way to handle ladies. Don't go there hugging them, hugging them. These are not, it's not your wife. Even the way if you check my photos, when I take photos with the ladies, there's a way I stand.
Yes.
Not putting all your body all over.
Yes.
Once you have that particular discipline, your marriage will stand because beautiful ones are always there. You need to be convinced that your wife is the most beautiful in the whole world.
My people, you have to be convinced.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Do you assure her? Do you affirm her? Do you keep telling her she's gorgeous?
I like speaking to people.
Yes.
She says that I'm the most energetic man. In the morning, when I wake up, I say, today is a good morning. Hey, my darling, my beautiful one. I put all the good ones. You are the best in the whole world. Without you, there's no air here without you. You are my oxygen. You pump energy. That's why she brought me here. She came and brought me here.
Early in the morning.
Early in the morning.
Yes.
And she's extremely supportive.
Yeah.
Even the time I had the stresses, because the time we had this issue, we had stresses. She is very supportive.
Yeah.
About some years back, the time I lost 5 million on a land deal in Siokemau. I lost all the friends, and she was the only friend. That time she was earning a salary of 10,000. And out of that 10,000, I could get 50 bob, 100 bob, 200 shillings to go to town.
Wow.
She supported me, and there's no time she told me, you are useless. Can you imagine? Muzee hana pesa for 1 year. I had no money for 1 year. Yani you are broke. Yani huna pesa. Life was tough. It was challenging. The office was closed, and she was there.
Yes.
She never told me, you are useless. So I really honor her.
Yes.
And she's my everything.
She's your everything.
Yeah.
I know I should ask her, but since you are here, does she tell you you are also the most handsome in the world? Does she affirm you? Does she tell you ni wewe?
My wife is a bit reserved. Lakini akisema jina moja tu, unakuwa encouraged for 3 months.
Yes.
One word only.
Which
you
one?
You are encouraged.
Yes.
You are the only man in my life.
Wow.
And you make me happy.
Wow.
I'm telling you.
Beautiful.
Kama jana nipeleka coffee.
Yeah.
She was very excited.
Yes, really. So marriage works.
Marriage works. But marriage is like business. You have to work for it. Produce positive words. Have time together. Go for holidays together. As you go for a holiday, every 3 months, we close everything. We must go somewhere for a holiday.
Yes.
Because if you don't work on your marriage, it will go down.
Yes.
When it's go down, a man that is not settled in the mind cannot run a successful business.
Wow.
But once you are successful in your family, the business must follow, must be successful.
Yes.
That's a secret of Optiven.
Beautiful. Gosh, before we wind up,
yes.
I love that you are very, you talk of God with so much pride, you own, you say this is only because of God. But allow me to ask you the art of tithing, because this is something I think we spoke about. I'm not sure if it's an interview or off camera.
Yeah.
The art of tithing. Do you tithe, and what would you say matters tithing and religion?
I would say that even when I mentor people,
yes,
one of the lessons is tithing. When I mentor people, I do 12 lessons at the George Wachiuri School of Mentorship.
Yes.
It's available online at the George Wachiuri YouTube.
Yeah.
I have a whole topic on tithing. In fact, I call it tithing and philanthropy. If you look at the Jewish culture, they say they teach their children early in the days when they are young on how to do with 20% of their earning. This 20%, they say 10% goes to religious institution, 10% goes to philanthropy. The same with us. And I'm a practicing person on the principle of tithing, because it has worked for me in the past. It has worked for the friends that I mentor.
Yes.
And the 10% is not our money. And don't tithe after spending. And every time you tithe is the only area God has given us permission to test him. For me, every time I tithe, I have a list. God, this is what I expect to do. You do for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I tick because God does it. Protect my family, protect Optiven, protect our customers. You know, I'm trusting you for a loan facility to buy a bigger project in Vipingo, for example.
Yes.
And God has always done it. And the tithe works.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, everything we have belongs to him.
Yes.
And the people who do not tithe, sometimes things happen. Unagonjeka tu, unaenda hospitali, unalipa 4 million. So all the tithe you did not pay,
Yes.
inashukuriwa na the enemy. But when you tithe,
Yes.
you experience some protection.
Yes.
You experience some happiness. So tithe works. And I teach people that I mentor, tithing is part and parcel of our lives because we are giving back to God.
Yes.
Remember, God has given you oxygen. We are here. God has given you legs to walk. You can walk. Sometimes when you go to distribute wheelchairs at the foundation and you see somebody has got cerebral palsy, they have not walked for 30 years. Where uko na miguu, what have you done to God that you are able to walk? Some people have no brains. They're not able to think on themselves. You have the brains, you can think. Some people have no energy. Some people have no hands. The 10% is so small that God demands from us, and that 10% unlock other doors. So it works. And when you tithe, don't audit. Don't say my pastor bought a car. No, that is not your business. You tithe, leave your pastor to God. He'll be answerable. And then after tithing, also another 10%, put it under philanthropy. Go to your village, support those girls, those boys that are less fortunate. And then once you do that, you combine tithing and philanthropy, success is guaranteed. Lynn, let me tell you, the reason you find the people like Bill Gates are very successful, for 12 generations, they have been givers. Look at this church deacon. He was called J.D. Rockefeller. He was a church deacon. That guy was a giver. And the time he died, he said, my wealth, 99% of my wealth will go to Rockefeller Foundation. They are here in Westlands. Now the wealth is even bigger. You know why? The power of giving. And if you don't give, you die a poor man. Not necessarily physically, but spiritually, you die a poor man.
Yes.
And giving, not only money. You can give, like now, Lynn Ngugi, you are giving. Your followers now almost 1 million. You are giving your time to these people. Let me tell you, God must bless you because you are giving encouragement to these people. You are giving your time. Hosting me here, I have not paid anything.
Yes.
You just give.
But then it's
give
not
me
a PR campaign.
No.
I'm actually the one who reached out.
No. Hey.
You did not even ask.
No.
I'm the one who reached out.
Yes. So
yes.
that is giving. And once we do that, we change ourselves, we change our community, we change the whole earth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. From a business perspective, it would be unfair of me to wind up this conversation without talking about loans, because I've heard you mention loans here. And I remember I was interviewing NIB CEO, and she also mentioned that she took a lot of loan from Equity. But people would be like, isn't he a millionaire or a billionaire? Sorry. Isn't he? Why loans? Like why loans? And for business, do you think loans are the way to go? Do you believe in loans?
I believe that when banks were established,
Yes.
there are people who deposit,
And
there are people who borrow.
Yes.
Banks earn from the people who borrow, not people who deposit. But we need both.
Yeah.
And they say that if you want your business to expand, you either do equity, whereby you get a partner, or you finance the business through debt, or you finance the business through your personal savings. Since in Africa, our savings is not so good.
Yes.
We are not like Indians. You know, Indians really save.
Yeah.
So you find many businesses survive or expand
Yes.
through loan facilities.
Yeah.
And for us, we have an amazing partnership with the Equity Bank.
Yeah.
They are able to finance our customers, they are able to finance our projects, and they are able to work with us. So because if you want to really to be ambitious, you must have a partner, a financial partner who can give you financial support. Even a country, Lynn Ngugi, even a country here, Kenya, we are borrowing from IMF, we are borrowing from everywhere. Because if you want to start small, to grow your business by savings, there's a level you cannot go. But if you finance through either equity or debt, the company will grow. Even big companies like these huge organizations, they have financial partners. And I want to encourage people out there, don't fear loans. The only thing is, don't borrow loans for fashion, for eating,
cars,
for consumptions. And sure, if you borrow a loan at 18%, you are getting a return of 29%. Once you do that, the company will keep growing. You can imagine, Lynn, if I had no financier, maybe George Wachiuri would be in Kieni. You know, I'm a boy from Kieni.
Yes. Somebody
gave us money because they trust us. We have a relationship. And that's why I tell people that if you see somebody giving you a facility, maintain that relationship. Even if it is a mshwari, please borrow and pay back, because that paying back means your integrity is epic.
Yes, yeah. Powerful. I'm about to let you go, but before I ask my last question, is there anything that you wanted us to talk about that I've not touched on that you would want to touch on briefly?
Maybe it's just to tell our people out there that even as the challenging time comes, look for somebody who can mentor you. Look for somebody that when things are very tough, please don't hang yourself, don't kill yourself. Look for somebody that you can call and you can be able to have a discussion. So don't put that lonely life. Don't close yourself up. And that's why I say that join a mentorship. Like for us, we have George Wachiuri School of Mentorship. We don't charge anything. It's service to the community. You can join this virtually. Whether you're in the US, whether in the UK, you can just join. Just go to www.georgewachuri.com and you see a table there, just join there. And also ask our people that when challenges come, remember there is God in heaven. Always go to your knees. Prayer works. And when things are not really working out completely, just walk. Take a walk. Take a walk. Have time to meditate and count how many things has God done for you before you give up. There's this guy I really love called Colonel Sunday, the owner of KFC. You know, one time he wanted to commit suicide, but he said, wait a minute, let me see what I've done and what I've not done. That's the time the idea of hawking flies and chicken came in. Look at him today, though he's dead, but he's still alive. 22,000 stores. Can you imagine, Lynn, if this guy hanged himself? Because all of us, we have got potential, just like a Colonel Sunday or George Wachiuri. We have potential. Never allow anybody to underestimate you, to discourage you, because you have a seed in you. It's like a mustard seed. And that mustard seed, if it is watered, that mustard seed can be a big tree to be able to accommodate birds. Birds can come there and do nest. That mustard seed can bear fruits, and you can be able to eat those fruits. So we must encourage our people. The time to give up is not now, because the time you are born, Lynn, God knew your mission, and your mission is big, and everybody has got a big mission. So we must pursue that mission. For me, I say, before I die, I must make 1 million millionaires. That's what I do. I say, and it is happening. When I was coming here, somebody called me. Somebody called me because I always make a joke that you can't come near George Wachiuri and remain poor. You can't greet me and remain poor. So when we were coming, somebody called. Say, George, since I met you 6 months ago, my life has changed. Wow. My life has changed. My father just called me and gave me 700 acres. He's a Maasai guy called Tulia. He's a Maasai guy. And the guy confessed, and I was telling my wife, Umeona, the way I tell people, you greet me, become wealthy. Please. Yes. And that is something I've witnessed, because we are like a mustard seed. So we ask our people, never ever give up. There is a potential you have. There is something you have in you. You only need to exploit it. Just exploit it.
Exploit it. Powerful. Is making 1 million millionaires the legacy you want to leave, or what other legacy do you want to leave behind? That was actually my last question. What legacy?
That is one of them, and that's why I love mentorship. And this mentorship has not started now. Even the time I was a very young man, I used to meet people at 680. We were calling it PTT, Personal Transformation Talks. And some of these young people, because majority were youth, I met one in our project in Gatanga, Success Gardens, as a customer. And then the girl told me, the reason why I bought Success Gardens Phase 2 is because 12 years ago, you mentored me at 680, PTT. That time I was jobless, but you encouraged me. So we left PTT, Personal Transformation Talks, at 680. We went to St. Andrews. I was holding meetings for G2G, good to great. And I was teaching people and mentoring people how to move from good to great. And I think I did over 1,500 people. Then we now moved there to George Wachiuri School of Mentorship, whereby these lessons go for 6 months. The graduation is always in Kitengela, GMC place. We have a big field there. Graduation is funded by Foundation, Optiven Foundation.
Yeah.
And I love it. And my legacy is, when George is an old kamuze going with a stick, people will be saying, wow, were it not for George Wachiuri, I won't be here.
Yeah.
Were it for George Wachiuri, hii biashara ingeanguka. You know, I want my mentees to have testimonies and testimonies.
Yes.
And then when I go to heaven,
Yes.
the Optiven Foundation will live for over 1,000 years. That's my prayer. That this foundation will keep supporting the orphans across 47 counties.
Yes.
This foundation will keep supporting the physically challenged through a mobility that brings a smile. This foundation will support many Leshaus, many Mamadukos. That is my prayer, that even when George is not on earth, people remember there lived a man who was called George Wachiuri, philanthropist, an author, the man of the people. Yes.
The man of the people.
Yeah.
What a powerful conversation. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you,
know,
Lynn.
the more I greet you, the more greater I become.
Oh, yes.
The more greater I become. Thank
Yes.
you so much for
Asante.
such a powerful conversation.
Thank you.
Mine is to thank you, because I think every time I knock on Optiven doors, there's always someone telling me, Karibu.
Asante.
And to be honest, all the emails and all the feedback I've ever gotten about, because now they see me, they see Optiven by default, and I'm like, yeah, to have such a beautiful name, for me to be associated with such a name, it's a pleasure and it's an honor.
Thank you.
Yes.
We commit, we shall keep supporting you.
Thank you.
Because the job you are doing,
Yes.
nobody can pay you.
Thank you.
So we must come in and
Yes.
give you support.
I appreciate
and,
it.
we really love you.
Yes.
We value you. Thank you
Yes.
for covering the shower story.
Yes.
And I can't wait to go there with you.
Me too.
Open the house.
Me
and
too.
Celebrate this lady.
Yes.
And we also thank all people who
Yes.
donated, like Mabati. They
Yeah.
gave us roofing materials.
Yes.
And we are happy that this lady is now very excited.
Me
so
too.
keep doing it.
Yes, and patience pays.
Amen.
Because, man, it takes a lot of patience
Yes,
to
yes.
be able... Guys, I can't wait to broadcast for you that house. Even me, myself, I'm actually really excited to see what you guys in partnership with Optiven Foundation have done. But do say hi to your people. Say hi to Nagilai. Say hi to Anne. I can't wait to see
Wow,
Anne
thank
soon.
you.
Yes.
Good people. I want to say,
yes,
say hi
yes,
to them.
yes.
And they are very excited. They love you. Oh,
Yes.
these guys,
Yeah.
they love you.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
I will.
Shall we wind up?
Yes. you
All
can do
right.
that. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Man, what a powerful conversation. Oh, I forgot. When are we launching the book again?
28th of this month.
28th of
July.
this month.
Yes.
Yeah, so the book will be launched on 28th of this month.
It's also available on Amazon.
Yes.
Actually, all the books are available on
Yes.
Amazon.
Yeah, I have
So-
these two guys,
Yeah.
so you might as well get. This is not an ad, guys. May I always say I don't advertise things I don't believe in. So this is not an ad. You might want to get these two. This I've read, so I'm looking forward to read this, and I'm happy that's going to be available soon. Also available on Amazon. I'll also put the details down there, pinned on the comment section, so that you know where to get these books. And I remember you told me every time you buy this book, there's a certain percentage that goes towards the foundation. And guys, it's through the foundation that we've been able to get Leshau that beautiful house. So this is not an ad. I've not been paid billions by Optiven to vouch for them. But I always say, when I see a good thing, I want you guys to experience it. And I want to know what has been your take home from today's conversation. For me, it's the abundance mentality. It's knowing there is a seed. Let's not be scared. Let's go out there, guys, and just believe in your vision. Believe in the power of your dream. Do not give up. Because as you said about the guy in KFC, can you imagine if he gave up right now? We wouldn't. But now, also, if you gave up, because I am very aware of your story. I know you've also suffered from self-confidence. I know you've gone through a lot. But if we also gave up, we wouldn't have Optiven.
Sure,
We
yeah.
wouldn't have Optiven right now.
Sure,
so
sure.
thank you for just being strong and focusing on the goal and the vision. And I believe, guys, the conversation was enlightening for you. I hope you've learned something. I do appreciate your support, and I can't wait to continue bringing you these conversations. We are rebuilding, we are restoring. God has been good. Please do not give up on your dream. And I always say, no matter what your hustle is, please be proud of it. There's no shame shame in hard work, no shame in hard work. When Mr. Wachiuri gave me my first deal, I did not even have an office. But you know, you believe and you enter into those offices like you mean business and they believe in you. So don't give up. Pole pole too. Pole pole. There is no shame in hard work. Yeah, thank you for supporting us on today's conversation. I'll be leaving the details of Optiven pinned on the comment section. Maybe if you want to get yourself something, a piece of land here and there, anything, any questions that you have, their contacts are on the screen and also pinned on the comment section. Yeah, my time here is up, but I don't get to do this alone. Thank you so much to my incredible team, Edgar, Scholar, and Muga, and also to our incredible editors, Kevin and Sam, for compiling this episode and making sure it reaches you guys right on time. If you want to share your story, info@lnn.digital. That's where I'm at. Please send a summary of your story and we could be sitting with you on the next conversation of the Lynn Ngugi Show Rebuilding series. Thank you for your support till tomorrow 10 a.m. Bye-bye, my people.